For many of you clicking on this video, I imagine the VSSM is your most anticipated weapon they added in Battlefield 6 Season 4. I have to tell you up front, it is simultaneously a really good gun and a really fucking bad gun. In fact, I would say that it's kind of infuriating, because sometimes you use it and it's like, damn, this is really good. It's contesting pretty much any weapon in the game in close quarters. And then you shoot at somebody that's about 20 meters away. And it's like, oh, I shouldn't have done that. But then you think to yourself, wait a minute, isn't this a DMR? Shouldn't that range be pretty serviceable? Yeah, well, we'll talk about everything in this video. So if you guys enjoy, hit the like button, hit the sub button, and of course, swing by the streams. I stream every single day, twitch.tv/enders, and this YouTube channel. And check out the second channel, it'll be in the pinned comment. Talking about some basic stats for the VSSM, the damage model is pretty simple. It holds a 3 bullet to kill all the way out to about 9 meters, so right there. Then after 9 meters, it drops to a 4 bullet to kill. It holds the 4 bullet to kill out to about 20 meters, and then all the way out to over 75 meters, it is a 5 bullet to kill. Looking at some other stats for the VSSM, you can see that this weapon, you can set it to full auto mode, or you can have it be a traditional semi-automatic DMR. The rate of fire without the full auto attachment is 450 by default, and with the full auto attachment, it is 800. As you can see, 35 damage, 800 rate of fire. There is another infamous weapon in the game with the exact same sort of setup here, which means the VSSM within the 3 bullet to kill range, so between 0 meters and 9 meters, it ties the SCW-10 for being the fastest killing full auto weapon in the entire game. So why is this weapon kind of a tale of two different sides? Looking at some of the other statistics, you can start to see why this is sort of a double-edged sword. The muzzle velocity is abysmal at 303 meters per second, and the recoil variation and the recoil amount, they are very, very high at the bottom of your screen here. Recoil variation of 45 degrees with a recoil amount of 0.8 degrees. This translates into, yeah, this weapon has a lot of fucking recoil, okay? And it's not the good recoil either. It has a lot of random, completely unpredictable, uncontrollable recoil. The first setup I'm going to show you is the full auto setup. Unfortunately, you have to spend 40 points on the folding stock full auto attachments. So this leaves you with a very restricted budget for other attachments. In order to even get any decent recoil control, unfortunately, you can't use long-range ammo, which would actually reduce the recoil. You have to increase your recoil with tungsten core because it costs 5 points, and then you have to try to offset it with either the alloy vertical grip or the ribbed vertical for even more recoil control, but with a penalty to your moving accuracy. Now, optionally, if you want even more recoil control, you can remove the sight and go for iron sights, and then equip the 6H64. This would be the maximum amount of recoil control you could get for this weapon. But just keep in mind, iron sights in this game, they're not 1x. As you can see, it zooms in about 1.5 to 1.6 times. So you kind of have a built-in scope while using iron sights. The problem with the full auto setup is you're basically just struggling to equal the SCW at what it does best, right? The SCW-10, bigger magazine size, better velocity, same time to kill up close, lower recoil. I mean, why would you ever use the VSSM over the SCW-10? And it's sad, right? Because it's such a cool weapon. Like, you want to be able to use this gun. It's just kind of dog shit, but it's also kind of good at the same time. It's very strange. Now, another optional setup you can do with full auto is you can just say, I'm never aiming down sights with this weapon, and you can just slap on the 20-point green laser and start going crazy, you know? Like, or even better, if you want to blind your enemies, you can use the 10-point green laser and slap on the flashlight, and this is Probably arguably the better hipfire setup. But, guys, if you want to use this weapon in close quarters, I would just recommend using the SCW-10, as sad as that sounds. Now, for the masochists among us watching this video, if you want to use this weapon as a DMR, well, I have bad news. You're probably going to have a bad time, but at least you're remaining authentic, right? So you're probably going to want to use the 30-round magazine because you're going to be spamming your ass off with this gun. I don't have it unlocked, but this would be the setup, right? 30-round mag, 20-point suppressed barrel, 20-point blue laser to give yourself better moving accuracy and to give yourself even the slightest chance in close quarters. Do not bring this gun into close quarters if you're using it as a DMR. And probably most importantly, long-range ammo. This is a recoil reduction as well as a bullet drag reduction. So your bullets drop less, and I mentioned the velocity. It's only 303 meters per second, and there is no way to increase that. So any sort of drag reduction you can get is incredibly valuable. In terms of recoil control, I don't really think you need to use a grip on this weapon. And also, if you're using it as a DMR, you're not going to be up close to people. You can afford to have a little slower ADS speed. So, if you want, you could, axe the laser and slap on maybe like a alloy vertical. But, I mean, it's really not that big of a recoil difference. And in my opinion, it's just not worth it. But for those of you that do want a recoil control build, here is what I would recommend. This just eliminates any sort of recoil problem you're ever going to have with the weapon if you are struggling that way. So, violet laser for better moving accuracy and to offset the grip penalty. Stippled stubby, faster ADS, really good recoil control. 20-point suppressed barrel, 20 fast mag, long range ammo, and mag catch. Also, notably with this setup, fast mag catch, you do get a really, really fast reload of just 2.054 seconds. So overall, the VSSM strikes me as a weapon that DICE was afraid of making overpowered. And if you played Battlefield 2042, I'm sure you remember the ridiculously broken BSVM whenever that weapon released, I think in Season 1 of that game. I have a feeling they didn't want to repeat history with the BSVM nonsense in Battlefield 2042, so they intentionally made the VSSM kind of unviable to use in any situation. If you want to use the VSSM as an SMG, you're simply better off using the SCW-10. It has the same time to kill in close quarters, it's way easier to use, you have more ammo, and if you use the SCW-10 on Engineer, you benefit from the perk of that class, which increases the accuracy of your hipfire, and that benefit does not apply to the VSSM. If you want to use the VSSM as a DMR, you're just going to struggle with the muzzle velocity at an abysmal 303 meters per second, even with the drag benefit of long-range ammo. If you don't have great aim and you can't lead targets very well, you're going to have a very rough time. But all of this isn't to say the VSSM isn't a fun weapon. I just think 40 points for full auto mode heavily restricts what you're actually able to do with the weapon. If they went ahead and reduced the full auto cost, I think that would fix a lot of issues. And I also don't think it would make the weapon overpowered, considering a lot of the limitations on the table. So, that has been the guide for the VSSM. I don't know what to think about this gun. Every time I use it, I'm just like, fuck. It's pretty good, but it's also not really that great. So anyway, if you enjoy the content, guys, be sure to hit the like button, hit the sub button. I will have a video out for the last weapon of Season 4, at least so far, the new carbine. Pretty soon, if you want to see that, definitely subscribe to the channel. Hit the like button, check out the second channel, swing by the streams. All links are in the description. And guys, I had to make a new Clips Instagram, so if you were following the last one, be sure to follow the new one, which I will link in the description as well. Appreciate you guys watching, and I will see you guys in the next video.
Kelly coming up. Kelly's one. Legit. Like there's some farm at F on the hill too. Yep, 2 more on the flare. Flare. On point D, like 5.